Yo, 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 LOLeros! This episode of Latinos Out Loud is brought to you by McDonald's.
LOLeros. If you're a listener of our show, you know that all three of us are diehard McDonald's fans. Like we all got like McDonald's jerseys and we root for the McDonald's every time we pass it. Like it's our favorite team, right?
Oh yeah. And Jamie, I got some even better news. We got some iconic news to share with all of you, okay?
Oh, share it. I'm excited. What's going on?
Yes, the McRib is back, okay?
The McRib.
That's right. Here comes the big butt, Jamie. Hold on. This is just the McRib like farewell tour, okay?
Wait, McRib is having a farewell tour? No.
Yes. Sorry, Jamie. Yes, it is.
Okay, but it can't be a real farewell tour. It's probably like the type of farewell tour like that bands say they have. You know, like the Rolling Stones have had like 20 farewell tours.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, the McRib is probably like the Mick Jagger of sandwiches.
Yes.
And so this might not be a real farewell tour, but
I'm hoping
it's not. But you know what? Just in case, we got to go to McDonald's right now and get ourselves a McRib.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea, Jamie.
And make sure you get some napkins because every time I eat a McRib, my hands get dirty. It's the barbecue sauce.
All over, yeah.
Yeah, and now that they might be the last that we have a McRib, I might have tears that I got to wipe off too. I don't know. I don't know what emotions I'm going to go through, Frank.
Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So, LOLeros, the McRib farewell tour. Oh, I can't even say that. It's happening right now at McDonald's. Go get yours.
LOLeros, hello. Sit down, get comfortable. Let's talk about Zelle. Okay, you've heard about it. You may already be using it. Not sure. I know I am. And not just because they're such a great supporter of the Latinos Out Loud podcast. Thank you, Zelle. But because it's really easy to use and it makes the most sense. Literally, dollars and cents. When anyone sends you money or if you need to get paid back, always ask for Zelle. With Zelle, the money goes straight into your bank account and it works even if the sender banks somewhere different than you in the United States of America. All right. Look, I be going out with the kids, the moms, the dads, the nannies, the grannies, the tios, the tias. We all sometimes hang out. We go to the park. We like to bring pizzas for the kids. Granola bars, you got to mix it up, healthy, not healthy. And we all split the costs. It's real great when you find like a cluster of friends that it's just a given that someone is going to hit you back. And in this case, the like group of moms that I be rolling with, they see me rolling. All the moms and dads, we use Zelle and we pay each other back with Zelle. It's great. It's very convenient. And I know it's going to go through and I know it's going to hit my bank account really, really fast. And the money goes straight into your account, typically in minutes, seconds. I've seen it go through in seconds. It's really, really fast. So like, that you'll be able to go back to Trader Joe's or wherever you shop and buy some more of those frozen vegetable nests. They're so good. Everything in the frozen aisle of TJ's is good. All right. You also don't have to download another app because it's probably already in your banking app. So just double check that you have the correct US number, the mobile number, and email address. This way, the recipient is the right recipient and your money goes to the right place, straight into their bank account or yours. So mi gente, LOLeros, look for Zelle in your banking app today. It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast. Yo, 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 wow.
Dime.
That was a little like 80s music inspired, and then
I've been listening to a lot of 80s music. I don't know
helicopter in the background. That was, feeling good.
80s.
Hi.
Nostalgic.
Yeah. Hi. I love nostalgia. I really do. I love it. Anything nostalgic just really gets me. I love nostalgia, and I also love the Latinos Out Loud podcast.
Yes, yes.
But
What up,
sometimes
what
the
up?
two go hand in hand, right? We're very nostalgic on this podcast. We talk a lot about our upbringing, our Latino upbringing, our likes, you know what I mean? Movies from the 80s, 90s, thousands, and today. I sound like 106.7, the
Yeah, I
best of
know.
80s, 90s,
From the
thousands.
70s, 80s, 90s, and today. We got all your hits.
Yeah, yo. Well, let's take it back to the present. Hi, it is a present to be here to gift. I'm your friend. In case you don't recognize my voice, come a little closer, closer, closer,
Yeah.
closer. It's your friend Rachel La Loca.
Yo, Rachel.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
actually, can you take a step back a little bit more? 6 feet, 6 feet or more. Yes. Okay.
good
This is
idea,
Jay
6
Ferns.
feet.
This is Jay Ferns.
Yay!
Take a step back.
No,
Take a
Stay
step
right
back.
with you. Stay where you're at. It's Mr. Frank Nibs from the Heights. He's right here and he's present.
Okay, so
Right.
Frank
He's
doesn't
here,
really.
and then who are you? Are you some kind of body double?
I
Is this
could be a clone.
conspiracy?
Could be a clone.
Oh.
Could be a clone. Could be a
Oh,
clone.
wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
wait, is the real Frank? Did the real Frank run the New York City Marathon, which happened
That could have been
recently
my
in the
clone.
city?
I don't think the real Frank could make
I
it.
don't think the real Frank. I think the clone might.
The
Yeah.
clone could make it. The clone definitely could make it.
So, what are your thoughts on the marathon? Like, would you ever run a marathon? Thoughts?
Nah,
That's
not
a great
even.
question. No,
Discuss.
Frank?
No.
Why?
I've seen people.
Pero why?
I've seen people passing out. I've seen people almost die.
Also, chafing. Chafing is a big deal.
Ooh.
Wait, like
Ashton
in between the
Kutcher.
legs?
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher was on the morning show recently, and he was talking about how he ran the marathon this year,
Oh,
and he was talking about how he had like a big issue with chafing, like that almost made him drop out because he had real hardcore
you got
chafing.
them thick thighs, boo boo. You know what chub rub is? Now you know. Now you know. Shout out to all the ladies out there with chub rub. Yo, shout out to all the ladies putting deodorant on their inner thigh. I see. Shout out to the ladies putting baby powder inner thigh.
That should be black down there, right? Sometimes with the girls on there when it's rubbing.
Listen, if you got thick thighs, what you gonna do? You gotta put something for friction, for some viscosity.
You could put like a log down there and a fire turn on, probably, right?
Try some oil, ladies. Oil also works. You know what I mean? Some eucalyptus oil, some of them lavender oil, Dr. Teal's. You know what I'm saying? You need the viscosity. Don't go and put motor oil. Okay, not that kind of viscosity. Save that for the engines. But yeah, shout out to the ladies with chub rub. Chub rub, I think is sexy. Okay,
Chub Rub. He was my favorite '80s rapper. Chub Rub.
I think that was Chub Rock.
Chub Rock.
Okay.
But Chub Rub sound like kind of a better name. Just saying. Yo, Chub Rub in the club.
Yeah.
Lady, show
What
me
if it's
some
Chub Rub?
love.
And you know I'm in the club.
Chub Rub.
Yeah, I like, I guess I would have curiosity to see like if I really tried to train to see how far I could take it, but then I see all these people like who train and try to do it, and they get all these little injuries. You know what I mean? Like you realize that how by training for a marathon, you realize how out of shape you really are.
Yeah.
And
but
so
Jamie, wait a minute, you look like a marathon runner. I would think that that'll be your perfect sport. Yeah, then you're thin, you're tall. Like I would think that's your perfect sport. You got the beard.
And my nipples bleeding. My nipples are bleeding right now. So yeah, I do look like one. No, it's just catch up, y'all. I was eating a hot dog before. But
back to the training.
Yeah. No, I have no stamina for that, like no way. And it's like when I play basketball, like I'm literally like I'm huffing and puffing, like just once around the court, you know what I mean? So
what is it, 26.2 miles?
That's right.
And it's like you see all these people, they're like, wow, I got more of appreciation for the city because I get to see it. And I'm like, I don't need to run literally all over the city to appreciate the city. Like I can take an Uber somewhere, you know what I mean? Like I don't.
It's gonna be a fat Uber ride,
a tour bus.
A guy did that a few years ago. Remember, a guy lied. He said he finished. He took like an Uber, or he took the train, and then he went to the finish line, and he made believe he finished. And they found out that he lied.
Why?
And And like in New York, in New York nowadays, I'm surprised like most people didn't reach the finish line because they got stabbed before the
Oh my
race
God.
ended.
Or they were like a witness to a violent crime. Officer, I gotta finish the race. No, listen, you gotta stay here because you just saw this guy get shot. So,
hey, you want to finish the race? Why don't you go over here? So I got a shortcut for you.
Right. Oh my God. Shout out to New York Nico. You guys follow New York Nico.
Yeah,
he put a lot of interesting finish line images and video up on his page. But here's my take on the marathon. I am very inspired by the thought, the notion. I think of like at the gym, I could clock in like 3.5 miles if I'm, you know what I'm saying? If I'm like, if lungs are at full capacity, if the Beyonce album is playing, you know, and the outfit is fine, you know, good enough for running like that. I could put it, and I'm being honest, you know, so then I think in my head, okay, 26, 27 miles. So that's like 9 gym sessions. That's nine of those. Am I capable? I'm really not sure. But I love and I get excited at the idea of challenging my body, my kind of new body, guys. You know, this is kind of a new thing for me, and I would like to do it one day. Is that crazy?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would like to do. I say one day. I don't know, you know, because you see all these viejos finishing the finish line, and you're like,
I know.
wow,
I feel terrible when I see that. I feel horrible. I feel bad.
But you know what? The same girl that's inspired kept her ass inside the apartment the whole day, and I live right here. I live right here. I hear it all the cowbells and all the, oh my God, Christine, go Team UBS. We'll see you at work Monday. You know, like all of that. And like, okay, I'll meet you at the bar on 86th Street. Woo! Like all of that. Like, you know, and then it doesn't stop, because then after the run, they're all here on the Upper East Side partying and drinking.
Hanging out.
Yeah, I know. I think they
just
just do
stay
it for
inside.
they just do it for the party, the epic party afterwards.
Oh yeah.
I would need to start with a neighborhood marathon. Like, I'm not gonna try to conquer a whole city right away. I need to do like the Dykeman Street Marathon. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's a great
give me like
idea.
6 or 7, like, you know, 5, you know, blocks, long blocks.
Yeah.
And I'll finish. I'll promise I'll finish that.
Yeah, they got a little run club around there. I'm gonna find out about it for you, Jamie.
They got these run clubs.
Yeah, yes, I think isn't it the Dykeman Run Club?
Yeah, Dykeman something.
They just look like the cool kids, right? Like they're like a very, like, it's a clique of people who have clique. And it's like this young clique, and they have their own tights, you know what I mean? They're running tights.
Yep.
And they got special hats they wear and gloves. And I'm like,
Jamie.
I'm like, I don't have that gear. Like, I'm gonna need to catch up with them.
That's the initiation. You get it. You know what I'm saying? You have to like, yeah.
Like, you gonna run with us or what, Holmes? Or you gonna run away like a little bitch?
Oh, yo! Shout out to all these like mobilized groups of Latinos. Like, shout out to Jasmine and the Hood Hikers.
Oh man, the Hood Hikers.
If you don't know about the Hood Hikers, look them up too. Our girl Jasmine is in charge of that, and just like providing these really fun recreational activities for our inner city Latino peeps. I love that. And we have yet to do a hood hike, but we will. It's just a matter of calendar coordination, right?
Speaking of
very soon.
Speaking of running, right? Frank had a story where which actually, if I was in, you know, it sounds like it would make me want to run away from the place where this story takes.
What happened?
Yeah, I haven't even wanted to like even talk about this. Like,
you were talking about Amityville horror, and I'm like, what is going on? Like this, now you got me.
Lock the door. I'm getting scared.
Now you got me.
It was around. I didn't want
to.
I didn't want to tell you guys. Jamie. I didn't want to tell you, Rachel. I didn't want to tell you it was around the Dia de los Muertos and all that stuff. So
what? Really Let me get comfortable.
You know, I've been doing the construction thing up by the house up in Amityville, up in Pennsylvania. So I got the Amityville.
So I didn't
house.
know if it was in. Well, isn't
it's not in Amityville,
Pennsylvania?
No,
I thought it was
the
on
house.
Island.
No, it's in Pennsylvania, Jamie. But the house looks like Amityville horror, so I called it the Amityville house.
So you just call it the Amityville house because it has that. Like, would you feel like feelings of dread when you?
Yes, I have feelings like, you know, those horror films. Yes.
Yeah.
So it gives you that vibe. But the crazy thing, guys, I lost my phone. Okay. I lost it, and I lost it in the house. And when I put my mind find my phone, it gave me the indication that the phone was in the house somewhere. So me and the other workers in the house started looking for the phone, and we couldn't find it. And when I call the phone, it rings, and so nobody knows what it is. A lot of people are claiming that the phone, we probably like put the sheetrock the walls up, and the phone is inside the house. So we're hearing the phone ringing, and it's been days and days and days, and the phone hasn't been charging, and people are hearing the phone ring in the house. So we don't know where the phone is, and no one understands, because how can the phone be charged? And the phone rings, or some people are hearing the vibrating thing at the middle of the night. So it's like freaking people out in the house. We've even opened up some of the drywall to see if we find it, and we can't find the phone. So I don't know what's going on. It's kind of really scaring me, and the house is starting to scare me. So I think I'm going to get the hell out of there soon.
Wait, so you never found the phone?
Nope. And people are saying, the workers inside are saying that they're hearing a phone in the house. They hear ringing, or they hear the vibrating sound. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is just so weird. You know?
Damn.
So now when you call my phone, like my new phone rings, and the old phone rings inside the house somewhere too.
And are you fixing up that house for someone to live in?
Yeah, so now we're afraid that they're gonna have a ringing phone in the house after we sell the house.
Yo, like that's gonna be an issue for whoever lives there. Like if it's this eternal battery phone, like
it's weird, man. I don't know. We don't know. So one of the workers are probably saying that we left it inside one of the walls and we covered up the walls. But why would the phone keep on ringing? We just don't know. We don't understand.
And then your voicemail message just keeps popping up. Yo, this is Frank Nibs. I can't come to the phone right now, but
I'm looking for the poltergeist lady. I don't know if she's still alive. Remember the poltergeist lady? The little lady? I want to know if she's still alive. Yeah, because she will find it. You know, remember she went into the poltergeist house and found like the little kid through the TV? This lady could find the phone.
Yeah, you need a ghost hunter up in there to be like, okay, I feel the presence of the phone. Definitely.
Right.
Does your phone have call waiting? I need to know this first before we go any further.
And find my iPhone, it doesn't tell you.
It says the same direction as the house. It points right to the house. So no one understands. No one understands. And we cut a hole near all the sockets to see if maybe someone connected it inside with one of the electrical cords or something.
Yeah.
So it's next to right. So there's no power going to the phone. It's been over 10 days. So it's impossible for it to still be on or still have power.
Find My iPhone says it's in the portal to hell. Where is that? Is that somewhere in this house?
Well, you know, hey, listen,
it's in the upside down world. Can we access that from here? Is that like that Stranger Things place?
Hey guys, we never know. Certain houses have a certain energy, and like in the movie Poltergeist, that house had an energy, you know, and that family, there was an energy in that particular house. So it could be that certain houses are haunted, and you know, the phones are taken into another portal, but the phone still lives in the house. You never know.
If the ghost pays the phone bill, then it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you want to go half and half, if you want to go half and half on this phone bill, then we could talk, ghost. Like, come on.
Well, I'm afraid I might get a call from the phone.
Thanks for sharing the news.
Always.
I'd be freaked out too.
The call is coming from inside the house.
That's every scary movie.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Yeah.
No house visits for you, Frank.
It's all right.
Pennsylvania. So, okay, I'm just gonna shake this. You know, I'm gonna shake this evil spirit
out. Yeah, we need to shake it out.
And we gotta like introduce our.
I don't know what that was, but it felt right.
We gotta introduce our guests for this episode.
Yeah.
Yes, our guest. Oh my gosh, fascinating. You can see him now in Hadestown. Okay.
Hadestown.
Oh yeah, we're talking musical theater, people. Ooh. We're talking talented actors, singer, and just amazing human being. Eddie Noel was a guest on LOL. Okay.
Wow.
Because his last name rhymes with our show? No. Because he's killing it. Because he's killing it, and you may know him from On Your Feet. Yeah, the Gloria Estefan Broadway show. You may know him from there. But now you may definitely know him from Hadestown. Shout out to Eddie Noel. It's so fun to talk to musical theater people, Frank, because you can imagine it's just like jazz hands the whole interview, jazz hands and more jazz hands. I say that literally and figuratively. It's just always nice to talk to people who are like very eloquent and can just, I love singers. Singers are just always so like, ready to perform.
Musical
Eddie
people.
Noel, yeah. And so we interviewed, I got the chance to talk to Eddie Noel, and it's always nice to hear about the journey. It's always inspiring to hear about getting the call, the life-changing call.
Oof.
And I loved Eddie's story because it didn't come easy. Those kinds of calls usually don't come easy. Like they come after a lot of work. And then you get that life-changing call that you're like, oh yeah, I deserve this because I put in the work and I have earned the stripes. And it's okay, So I got a lot of inspiration out of chatting with Eddie Noel. So
and he's a triple threat. He's a triple threat: dance, acting, and music.
Oof.
That's
incredible.
Wow.
Bang,
Frank,
bang, bang.
you're a quadruple threat.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the fourth?
Ghost.
The ghost and the phone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ghosting?
Like
Frank, do you
ghosting.
ghost?
Oh my God, how did we not make a ghosting joke with all that phone, with all that ghost
There's
and
one
phone?
in there somewhere deep in the in the
I bet you someone was
plywood.
listening to us and was like, "Hello, someone make a ghosting joke." It's
Yeah.
right there for you guys.
Well,
but yeah, it was a cool interview, and again, another person that I'm sure we're gonna hear a lot of in the future.
yeah. So let's get into it. The convo with Eddie Noel on LOL. Okay, you guys, this is the part here on Latinos Out Loud where we interview someone amazing. This is awesome because your energy right off the bat. I'm so excited to introduce Puerto Rican actor Eddie Noel, people.
Bam, 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 bam. Sound effects and everything.
Boricua.
Hey. Hey. De pura cepa.
Oh my gosh, there's so many like Puerto Rican like house music songs. Like Wepa Man really did his thing. Shout out to Wepa Man. Like there are so many Esa Loca, Esa,
oh
like
my
all
God,
those
yes.
songs. You must know all of them.
I mean, pónmela y te la bailo. Así decirte al artista a veces es como que, pero te la bailo porque te la bailo hasta abajo.
Exactly. Ay, tú eres boricua de verdad. Dígame Wepa.
Wepa, pa, 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 pa.
Un huepazo esta mañana, diantre. Wow. Thank you so much for coming.
Me gusta esta combinación de mofongo y mangú. I love it.
I love it too. I also love the combination of matzah and mofongo because I told you, my background's a little bit of Brooklyn Jew, a little bit of Dominican. But, my kids are also par Boricua. So I'm.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. And we embrace culture. We embrace culture here like a mofo. We could talk about that all day, but it's really nice to be from different partes. It just gives us more color and more things to learn about and more excitement about being Latino, period. .com.
Ser orgulloso.
Eddie, you're in Nashville right now. Thanks for sharing. You're on tour. You're busy. Let's just talk about this. Some of the LOLeros may know you from the Broadway production of On Your Feet, right? That is the story of the Estefans. I've seen it. Oh, I love that. I loved that show so much.
I love it too, a lot.
Being in the Latino media, you hear about things sort of sometimes when they're in pre-production or, production, and then they go up and you go, and it's like being part of that process. I say that to say is like, I feel part of the family of watching that, and I'm far removed. I'm just a fan, but knowing that it was coming, to Broadway, you're like, yes, a Latino production, baby, pa que todo lo sepa, brother, hiciste.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about your life. I want to hear about your career, your trajectory, and then we can tell the LOLeros why you're in Nashville right now. So I know that's like a 10-part question, but talk to us a little bit about the actor Eddie Noel.
Bueno, pues this actor that is coming from Vega Baja, Puerto Rico. Vega Baja, que Bad Bunny es de Vega Baja. So you know. Okay. De la Meca.
Take
de
a
Bad Bunny.
selfie. Say cheese.
Hey.
That's all I say every
Pues,
day.
yeah. Well, I started when I was like 15 years old, and all the talent shows, you know, around Puerto Rico. And then I joined this folkloric company called Jíbaro de Puerto Rico, that is a folkloric dance company. And that dancing that besides dancing in that company, started doing theater, and I started singing because the company started doing musical theater, original stuff. And with that company, I started discovering this whole experience of musical theater that I'm very passionate about. And then in 2009, they did Rent in Puerto Rico. All those Rent heads and like the people that love musical theater, they know Rent.
Okay,
Fourth season of Love.
We've had the icon Daphne Rubin Vega on Latinos Out Loud. You must check out that episode.
I need to check that. Yes.
I love that woman. Okay.
I cannot wait to work with her at some point, to be honest.
Which you
like,
will.
That's part of my bucket list. Like, it's there. I'm declaring it right now.
Oh my gosh. And then she's in the Heights. I mean, she's just so talented. I love her. We love her.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead.
So I started with that show outside of the company that I used to dance, and because it was like a mainstream musical show, it hit in a different way. And I was like, I think I'm able to, to do this as my career. And then I saw Mamma Mia in Spain, because with the company that I used to dance, we used to represent Puerto Rico with our culture and our music in different parts of the world. So one time we were in Spain in this festival, and I saw Mamma Mia on stage, and I was like, oh, this is a game changer. So it was like my first Broadway show, like live. Yo tenía I was like maybe 16. I was 16 years old. Y ahí fue. Sí, yo empecé bien temprano, bien temprano. Y voy para 35 ya mismo. Like, I have to say, I'm not ashamed of it.
God bless. Please, you look amazing. You look 17 years old.
De 20. Es la barba. Yo me afeito y parezco de 25.
Yo, I swear, if I could grow a real barba, which I could if I really wanted to, but if I could hide some of the wrinkles on my face with a barba, not saying you got wrinkles under there, I would. I wish beards were in for women right now, but I don't know.
Beard is the makeup of us, de los hombres. Es el makeup de los hombres. Eso lo vimos en un sitio.
Excellent point, actually.
Porque yo me afeito esto, y tú sabes quién es Kiko, right? For Chavo del Ocho.
Yes.
Kiko. I'm like Kiko if I shave.
Yo, that's really funny.
Going back to that, doing musical theater. Then in Puerto Rico, they did La Cage, they did gospel, and I started doing that. I studied telecommunications. That's my bachelor degree, minor in theater. But I was already working in theater, so I was working behind camera. Then in Puerto Rico, I started working in Wepa Televisión as a host, and that opened another, me abrió los ojos en otros aspectos. So I love TV too. And then, pasaron muchas cosas en todo ese tiempo. Viajé con la compañía. And then Hurricane Maria happened in 2017. So it was recently. So I was doing all of that since 20 years old, doing my career in Puerto Rico. And it was part of my plans to move to New York. But I was like, when is going to be that moment? When is going to be that moment? And then Hurricane Maria happened, and then I was like, they canceled all the shows for that next semester, and of course, theater and arts in general wasn't a priority because we were in a crisis. But at the same time, I was like, I need to survive. So I helped my family as much as I could before leaving the island, because I went to my cousin's house in the Bronx. So I was living, ya tú sabes, me fui para allá, y estuve viviendo en el couch de ella like for 5 months.
Wow.
And that was during Christmas. And then I started working in Times Square in this pop-up shop in Times Square para el season de Christmas. Eso fue mi primer trabajo as soon as I got to New York.
How did you do that? And how are you alive? How did you survive that job por la temporada de Christmas in Times Square?
Y viniendo del Bronx todos los días, que era like an hour commute depending on the time. But it was my first work in New York, and I was like, let's do this. But then at the same time, I was in front of Telsey and Company, that is the company casting management that I auditioned before for On Your Feet. Because before Hurricane Maria, my first callback ever was in New York in front of the creative team of On Your Feet, because I sent the tape and everything, and they wanted to see me. So that was before Hurricane Maria. And then they didn't get me in that time, but they saw me. But I was working in front of that building that I auditioned.
Wow.
So I was, every time I opened that door, sometimes at 7 a.m., especially And New Year's Day that I was cleaning up all that confetti from New Year's Eve and everything. I was literally opening the doors and cleaning all the confetti from Times Square. I always look at that building. I was like, I need to go back again at some point. And I was declaring it. So, dándole fast forward, I got unemployed, pasaron las Navidades in New York. And I was like, okay, let's find another job. And that's when my manager told me, it's like, they're looking for a replacement for On Your Feet. They wanted to see you. And I was like,
Oh my
I'm ready. Let's do this.
God,
So
I love these
in 3
stories
days,
of the universe. I love these types of stories.
Exacto.
Keep going.
Exacto. And I just auditioned again. I had 2 more callbacks. Then I saw Jerry Mitchell again for the final callback. And then after that, I waited like a week. And I was like, what I'm going to do? So I was literally in my shorts. I was with my coffee. I was like, let's get another job in New York. Let's go. And my manager called me. I was like, congratulations, you're going on tour. And I started screaming. I was like,
my
y esto
God.
fue like 5 months after I moved to the States. Of course, I mean, I did my job. I did my stuff and my move before going there. And like, you know, trying to make everything happen. But then I joined the cast. I was on tour with On Your Feet for a year and a half. I started as an ensemble covering all the male parts. Then I was playing the dad covering Emilio.
Wow.
And then I ended up being Emilio. So for my first gig ever, like having that principal contract or starting with the union, like it's something that for me, that's why when I work, I don't take anything for granted, especially for that experience, because I know the struggle. Like, y mucha gente todavía en Nueva York, like they've been years and they haven't get what they've been dreaming, and y les va a llegar. Pero a todo, we all have different journeys. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And for me, in that case, having the journey in the way that I had, like, believe me, I practice gratefulness every single day, especially in this business and being employed. So that was that was On Your Feet.
I
and
have
then
to
after
tell
that,
you. Wait, pause real quick. I love your story.
yeah. Tell me, pregúntame, porque si tú me dejas, yo sigo hablando aquí.
No, but I love it. I just have to say and give you a piece of feedback is that you really took me there. I saw you sweeping the confetti. Like, what a part of the story. Like, oh my gosh, there has to be something. This is the dream. This is the sueño.
Yeah.
And of course, it's part universe and also part destino, but it's also part perseverance. You know, it's major part perseverance, actually, if you ask me. And I just want that to resonate. Your story really resonates for me with that part of it. Because of course there are moments, LOLeros out there, you know, people listening to us right now, Eddie, there's moments where you're like, I got my degree in marketing. What's happening? I'm a comedian? Oh, you know, like you ask yourself,
Exactly.
You got your degree in telecommunications. You know what I'm saying? And these questions, but then those questions. Go ahead, jump in.
No. That work that I had in Times Square was a pop-up shop, and they just hired me to just put the shop together, like as a regular employee, just to move. And then because they saw that I wasn't comiendo mierda, you know, I was like doing the job, and they just like, well, stay for the season. And in that same week, because I wasn't a regular employee, one of the sales managers decided to leave. And in my resume in Puerto Rico, I work in a lot of like retail store. And they put me as the sales manager.
Love it.
So I ended up having a full. So es eso mismo. Every little opportunity, take it and use it completely, and give yourself and be passionate in everything that you do. And also as Latinos, we're very passionate about everything.
Claro.
But even in work, hay gente que paga con cojones, and we have to say it because there's some people that don't want to work. But people that work, you know, eso paga in many different ways.
Yes.
You know, and in my case, a job is a job. And if I need money, I will work for it. Even if I have a degree, like, yo no soy orgulloso or too extremely proud. No, when you need something and you're pursuing something and you have to go through that steps, you go through them until you get to that goal. And that's what I've been doing all my life. And yeah, like right now, like I can get out of tour right now and I go back, maybe I work in a gym or I work something else. Like I keep myself moving so I can hit that goal at some point.
Well, let's talk about that right now. You're moving as we speak. Right now, you're in Nashville on tour with another production. Felicitaciones. Wow.
Gracias.
Tell everybody about Hadestown.
Yes. Well, I joined Hadestown a year ago in August. But I booked this actually in Puerto Rico via Zoom because during COVID. Vamos para atrás un poquito. I finished On Your Feet. I stayed in New York for a year and a half, and then COVID happened. And then I decided, well, I have to go back to Puerto Rico. So I moved back to Puerto Rico before a week before the lockdown in New York.
Wow.
So I went back to Puerto Rico without selling my stuff. So I was like, I estuve in Puerto Rico for 2 months. And then after that, I had to go back to New York. I was like, I have to sell my stuff. I cannot keep paying rent in a place that I'm not living. And we all know la renta in Nueva York.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Está de pinga, como dicen los cubanos.
Está de pinga, está desgraciada, de todo.
So I went back to New York, and I remember when it was that moment that all the prices went up. So to go back to New York, ese pasaje estuvo caro con cojones. But I sell everything. So I closed that chapter in New York for a little bit, and then I went back to Puerto Rico. But before going back to Puerto Rico and before COVID, I auditioned for Hadestown twice because I had 2 callbacks for that, but that didn't get it in that moment. But that was in presencial in New York. And then I moved back to Puerto Rico, and then I received an email that they were looking some people for the tour again. So I sent the video, and then the second callback, they just wanted to see me playing Hermes, that the people that know about the show or people that don't know about the show, Hermes is the one that tells the story and is the character that Andre the Shield on Broadway, he won the Tony for that role.
Okay.
So they wanted to see me playing that part in front of all the creative team via Zoom. So I was in Puerto Rico in the studio of the dance company that I've been dancing my whole life. I just rented the space and I was there, and I saw Rachel Chapkin, Anais Mitchell, Liam Robinson, all the people that actually won the Tonys for the show, because the show has 8 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, and have a Grammy because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack is beautiful. And if you haven't heard about Hadestown, go now and listen to it because it's gorgeous.
Okay.
And I did that audition. I remember that I finished. The energy was so great. I don't know why, even if it was via Zoom and they were in there, estaba más cagado que en una audición presencial. I don't know why. It was so weird. And then you had to create this new technique of like, you're auditioning for a camera, but you cannot act for a camera. You have to sing and act like for musical theater. But because the director told me you have to keep watching the camera, because I'm telling the story, like the Hadestown is in Hermes is the narrator of the show. So I finished that audition. I started crying because yo lloro, yo soy bien emocional.
You gave it your alma. Like, you gave it your corazón.
Exactly.
Of course.
So I finished that, and I was like, whatever happens, I feel fucking amazing.
Woo! What an attitude to have. That's it.
Hey, claro. Less than a week, I received a call. And then after that, I had to wait like a month and a half to go, then to fly to New York to audition, to rehearse. It was already to rehearsal. So I was in New York for a month for rehearsals, and then started tour in September. And I started as a swing in the show. Swing is a person that had to cover many people in the show. So I started covering all the workers, including Hermes. And then like I can say like maybe 6 months ago or a little bit more, I don't remember exactly, but I was moved to play one of the workers and cover Hermes and now Hades. Wow. So now I play Hades too. So it has been a journey. This is my second contract. It's kind of like happening the same thing that happened with On Your Feet. Now On Your Feet, I had 3 contracts, and I was like, building up and growing up in the company, and it's happening here too. And I'm really excited to see what's next, because I love the show. If you have the opportunity if you're in New York, if you haven't seen it in New York, it's just gorgeous. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And then right now we're in Nashville, and this show apparently is going to continue until 2024. So we'll see.
Amazing. Eddie, thank you for sharing that story with us. It was really touching, and we're so proud of you. Oh my gosh. Latinos doing it in musical theater. We often have writers and actors from several different, specialties, be them Broadway or like stand-up comedians, but there's always a common denominator for us Latinos. You mentioned one thing before, the pasión. Well, we have this passion that could literally take us through our life, like our careers, parenting. I'm a mom. The passion I have for being a mom really is the jet fuel. You know what I'm saying? That gets me through. My final question to you is like, what are some of those other elements that also give you that perseverance, the ingredients for the receta to success that you've found along your journey? Because the eloeleros, they get inspired by these messages, because some of them are out there maybe also pursuing telecommunications degrees
Yeah.
and just they really want to be on stage,
Right.
but they're doing it because of the pressure from their family, from their Latino family.
Exacto.
So that's sort of the question that I'd like for you to answer. Or aside from the things that you've mentioned, what are some other ingredients to the receta and some words of advice that you can offer the eloeleros and the future Eddies, the other Eddies out there?
I mean, hay muchas recetas based on that receta. From that plátano, you can have too many dishes. You know what I
So
mean?
many dishes. Yeah.
Exacto. So
Plátano
we're doing.
guisado, plátano maduro, plátano frito, plátano relleno de
So,
mozzarella.
well, honestly, I mean, passion for me is the first thing. Being proud of who you are in every aspect of your life. In our case, as Latinos, don't be ashamed of it. Like at the beginning, I had a lot of like pressure of like because thinking about this show is not Latino at all, comparing with In the Heights or On Your Feet. But this show embrace the diversity, and that's one of the many things that even the director told me is like the accent is good for this. Like the accent tells a story. The accent gives
Yes.
another energy to the story. So for me, embracing that here in the show and knowing that it's appreciated, I know in other shows can be appreciated too, you know. And for me, a big inspiration is Raúl Juliá,
I
for
see.
example. You know what I mean? Esa
The
es una
late, the
persona que yo
great.
admiro muchísimo. I admire him a lot. And being true to yourself, being kind to yourself. Us as Latinos, sometimes we just bash ourselves with a lot of stuff going on. And no, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to be proud of yourself, even for those little things that sometimes you like, okay, eso pasó y ya, but no, like for you, and it's a big thing. Like what you told me right now, you just made me realize a lot of stuff. Like when you made me
Aw,
like reflect, and I was about to cry. I was like, I'm not gonna cry here. I just started.
aw.
But
It's okay
it
to
was
cry here,
it
by
got
the
me
way.
emotional.
It's the
Oh,
forum, and
I
I'll pass you a tissue here. It's a
thank you.
handkerchief. Okay.
Thank you. No, it's fine. When I had to cry, I cry. It just you make me reflect about all the stuff that I've been going through, and sometimes we just think of okay, it happened, but no, when you think about those moments, it gives you more fuel to keep going because it reminds you of the struggle and like la jodienda que tuviste que pasar to be where you are right now. And in my case, like I told you, being grateful and being gratefulness every time, grateful every time, and surround yourself with people that actually supports you. Be very selective
Mm.
because it has to be like that, you know. And in my case, on tour, sometimes it can be a little bit, lonely. But no, sometimes you need to divide when you actually have to be by yourself to reflect and keep connecting and doing your job with everybody. But like tour life, it's hard. I don't know if this should be a book out, but if not, we should make a book of tour life because it's a whole new
Wow.
different like kind of like subculture of living.
Eddie, I hate to tell you this, but your life is a book. Maybe you should write the book. I'm just saying.
At some point, I will do my memoirs,
I,
memorias.
I think so. I see a lot of the universe is really listening to you and watching you, and so will we. Please tell everybody where they can follow you on social media, because your life is fascinating.
Yeah, well, Instagram and I think all of them. Eddie Noel R. Eddie Noel R. Me
Eddie,
siguen por ahí. Igualmente a todas esas personas que all the people that need some help or like need to talk or like need to ask me something about this business specifically, like they can reach out. I always try to answer everybody, and
I
like I'll
love
be happy to.
that.
For
Look at
real,
how accessible you
especially
are.
young people. Like for real, like because I was in that position, and sometimes you try to reach certain people, and it's hard. But in my case, if I can help any like young people that want to be in this business too, and I'm not gonna give you the exact receta exacta, but I can whenever I can do to help you, I will.
I love
So
that.
yeah,
Eddie, thank you so much for coming on Latinos Out Loud and making the time. Good luck on the tour,
appreciate
on
it.
the rest of the tour. Please let us know
Thank
when you're
you.
back in New York, porque hay party. You know what I'm saying? Josie,
Bueno,
all of us, let's get together. You know what I'm saying?
Te digo ya mismo.
You know, a little Bacardi. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just
Vamos a hacer
exchange.
coquito es lo que
Oh,
hay.
it's coquito season. Yes.
Hey.
Oh my God, it's coquito season. I gotta hit the gym. Great. Like I literally have to go much more.
I started because
Ya tú sabes, la leche condensada y toda esa vaina que
el
está ahí adentro. It's
azúcar.
like, oh my God. Azúcar. That was so Celia Cruz. Of course it was.
Hey.
Eddie Noel. I bet you're like a nonstop performer. You're probably so much fun to hang out with. Like, are you just
I mean, let's
dancing
do
in
it.
the
I'll see
street?
you in New York. Let's put it out there. I'll see you in New York. I'll be in New York
Vamos
soon,
pa'
so I
allá.
hope to see you.
Vamos para allá. Thank you,
A
Eddie.
Toñita, vamos para Toñita. Nos vemos.
Ay. Woo!
Eddie Noel Rodriguez.
Yes.
Wow, Rachel, that was good.
Eddie, he put the
Jeez.
no in Noel because he be knowing well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
I like it.
Eddie Noel.
Did you say that to him?
No,
Oh, it's
no,
probably best.
I'm just
probably
doing
best.
a little bit of, you know, yeah, I'm not gonna brag about my musical improv skill because it's probably lack thereof, but I'm trying. You know what I mean? I try. 'Cause I'm fly. I don't know why. I try. Time to say goodbye. That was so much fun. I love talking to entertainers, you guys. I mean, I just love talking, period. But when we get a true, like you said, triple threat entertainer, it's just so incredible to hear what they do and what they've been through. I'm just gonna stop rhyming. I'm not even doing it intentional now. I'm not. But anyway, it gives us all a lot of inspiration. I hope the LOLeros enjoyed that because no matter where you're coming from, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're trying to do, you put the work in, you will see results.
Wow.
You will see results, whatever journey you are looking to be successful in. Right, Jamie?
I agree. I have a bumper sticker that says exactly that.
That whole thing?
Yeah.
Must be a long bumper.
It's in really small font. Yeah.
At this point, it's like the bottom row of the eye chart at the optometrist, right?
I mean,
Like
I had it
it's like the
custom made,
bottom.
so it's like, you know.
Oh, that's nice of you to have a
I-
custom made bumper sticker. All right, guys. This is how we sign off. Thank you, LOLeros. Thank you for listening to the episode and listening to us be so silly. We were so silly today. We're
Silly.
but yeah, holler at us. Let us know your favorite font at We Are Latinos Out Loud. Call us 978 Latinos or drop your favorite font. You know what I'm saying? Or email us. We are Latinos Out Loud at gmail.com and write it in your favorite font. Thank you so much, Frank and Jamie. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, LOLeros, for another great listening experience.
Ooh.
Yes. Thanks for the support. Make sure you subscribe and
We can hear you listening. That's what I meant. You know,
It's freaky,
like you can
right?
hear us through the show, but we can hear you listening.
Oof.
We hear you. We hear you.
And the phone,
We hear
the
you.
phone is behind the wall. The phone is hiding in the house.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I think on that freaky note, we're out.